What is going on, everybody? And in this video we will be taking a look at the Scorebreaker set on the Rallycross class, mainly because I wanted to see if this is actually useful and is something to grind for, or is it kind of useless compared to the Rally Raid class, because I don't think I've seen anybody actually run the Rallycross vehicles on any Salam, unless that's just me. But I have not seen, I don't think, one person actually use them in the summits unless they don't have a Rally Raid vehicle, you know, like set up for it, or they just don't have the parts and all that, and they can only use the Rallycross vehicles. They have a couple of Scorebreaker parts or more skill parts on this class. Whatever that may be, I feel like this class is definitely not used enough in that, and there's probably a good reason for that, probably because it doesn't actually do a good job. Anyway, let's go jump into some Salams right now and see how the Rallycross class actually does in there with a Scorebreaker set. Can they actually complete them, and is it even worth grinding for? So for the first Salam I'm going to do with the Rallycross class here is the Death Valley Salam. Now this one is actually mainly off-road, so this one will be mainly used for a Rally Raid vehicle. But the biggest question is, can a Rallycross vehicle do this if this is all you have, or you're trying to test these out? Should I get a Scorebreaker set for this class? Is it worth it? Well, let's try this right now, guys. So the biggest thing you will notice with the Rallycross vehicles is their speed isn't quite there compared to Rally Raid vehicles. Although doing like 140 or so in a Rallycross vehicle is not too bad. Most Rally Raid vehicles can do like 160, 170. You know, with Nitro Chemist, of course. But running that with Scorebreaker, you're not going to have as much nitrous, can affect your score a little bit there. So I'm getting a decent score right now, but the biggest question is, how do I compare to the other Rally Raid vehicles here? One good thing about the Rallycross vehicles, they handle very, very well. I noticed the Escalade just handling is absolutely incredible and could probably easily be used for these. The big question is, could you do summits with this if you do not have a Rally Raid vehicle? Many people are probably asking that and wondering. So right there, I got an insane 29,000, almost 30,000 points there, which I believe the world record was 31,000. So it's actually pretty dang impressive for a Rallycross vehicle to get a score like that. Let's go jump into a couple more and see how this car can actually stack up. Here's the leaderboard I just got with that at 413th place with a Rallycross vehicle. It's kind of hilarious to me that I have actually really never seen any Rallycross vehicles used on the Salams, me being one of them. I've actually never used them ever. And funnily enough, I'm kind of surprised how good this thing actually did on that one I just did right there. I mean, it actually got 29,000, almost 30,000 points, which if you manage to do that in a summit there, you're going to get a very high platinum score, probably 155k or so. So now we're going to jump into Salt Lake Resort Salam here, which the question is, how will this thing do on uneven ground? Because we all know these cars really can't get the most speed up here. But can it compete? And if you guys have noticed, you can also beat the Ghost there every time with the Rallycross vehicles, probably because the Ghost is not very high leveled. And it is not running a Scorebreaker set, obviously, so their points are not going to be that good. When you're doing hardcore, like, off-road terrain like this, it's going to be kind of rough to be doing these, mainly because, well, the ground's uneven. These vehicles do not have the suspension designed for that overall, and might not hold speed as good, depending on the, you know, terrain and all that, so it might be struggle a little bit there. So let's see what we got. Almost 20k right there again with that one, and that's pretty decent considering I'm not even in a Rally Raid vehicle, and these vehicles are not even for this terrain. The Rallycross vehicles are pretty impressive. Jumping right into the leaderboard here, I'm almost 20k, which is 350th place, so well, almost anyway. So if you did do this, do keep in mind if you guys were in the summit, you'd probably get a very high score in platinum there. I want to say like 155k, which will at least get you into platinum, or so you don't have to actually touch this again. And many people are wondering, well, can the Rallycross vehicles do the Salams? I'm going to have to say yes, they can. Let's go jump into another one. So for the final Salam I'm going to jump into with the Rallycross class here is the Red Rock Salam. Now, the main reason I'm doing these is because a lot of these Salams have uneven ground and issues, and the Rallycross classes can sometimes struggle on that because they do not have the suspension, like I said, in the previous Salam there. So the question is, can these actually do this? And, well, overall, from testing out a little bit, I'm actually kind of surprised how good the Rallycross class is doing. The Escalade is actually doing very, very well. That one Salam I actually did before on like that little monster truck arena thingy, there's one person in there that was actually using the Mitsubishi, so it does seem like these cars are well capable of doing this. The main issue you may have, though, is actually trying to like control them and all that and be able to complete these. Sometimes if they're really long, or you might not be able to get as fast with these like you could with a Rally Raid vehicle because the cars don't go as quick. But to me, it seems like they're doing just fine overall, and they're not struggling too hard. Like, I'm actually doing a pretty decent speed right now at 120, and the truck's not really having any issues. And right there, I jumped right into this again with over 20,000, which I'd say is pretty on par with many of the Rally Raid vehicles. You probably won't be struggling too much if you were doing this with these vehicles. So overall, guys, the Rallycross vehicles are actually pretty dang good for this. I'm actually generally surprised how good these actually do, and I'm interested to test them out a little more and maybe try them in summits in the future. So if you're wondering if the Rallycross class could be used on the summits or on skills in general to farm them, or you're trying to get really high scores and Is a score breaker set worth getting? I'm gonna have to answer yes on that. If you're looking to grind it, you might as well get that set for this class because you never know what Ubisoft might do to summits in future or what they might change in them. So at least you have the set ready to go, and at least these cars can compete with the Rally Raid set, which is pretty amazing to me. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below.